Tonight is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. A former North Carolina youth basketball coach has pleaded guilty to rape charges on Long Island involving a 16-year-old autistic girl who played on his team. Freddie Lamont Wilson previously served a prison term in North Carolina after admitting to charges in 2009 to having sex with the same minor. Prosecutors say he had sex with the teenager while in Elmont 3 years ago for a basketball tournament. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of rape yesterday in Nassau County Court. The 63-year-old Wilson is expected to be sentenced to 2 consecutive 1-year jail terms next month. He also will be required to register as a sex offender. A Long Island teenager was to be sentenced today in connection with the fatal stabbing of one man and the shooting of another. The Suffolk County District Attorney's Office is asking that 19-year-old Alexander Aguilar be sentenced to 25 years to life for the murder and 25 years for the shooting. Aguilar of Deer Park reportedly fatally stabbed 28-year-old Edgar Villalobos back in 2009 in Brentwood and shot a 13-year-old in Brentwood about a month earlier. Aguilar pleaded guilty to the charges. Well, a Freeport man apparently pushed his luck a little too far and is now facing forgery charges. Police say last week, 31-year-old Jenkins David of Freeport went into the P.C. Richards & Sons store in Greenvale and made a purchase, paying with 8 $100 bills. But police say 6 of the 8 bills were counterfeit. The next day, police say David returned the item to a P.C. Richards in Belmore, but was told the store didn't have the cash and he would have to return. After an investigation between the 2 stores, David was told to return to Belmore for his refund, where he was arrested yesterday by the U.S. Secret Service and local police. When it comes to nutrition, not all fruits and vegetables are equal, and the same is true for meat, fish, and prepared foods. However, a supermarket chain on Long Island has a nutritional scoring system that it says could help shoppers make educated choices, as Elsa Gillis reports.
We've all been told you can't compare apples with oranges, but King Cullen Supermarket says now you can. The supermarket chain launched the Nuval nutritional scoring system at its Comac store and says all of its Long Island locations now have it. Buyers can use it to compare the nutritional values of foods, and King Cullen, along with Nuval founder Dr. David Katz, says this will revolutionize the way customers select groceries.
This is a system from top nutrition and public health experts whose only mission is to make finding better nutrition easy.
We do feel that with this information that they're going to think differently about how they shop.
I think this can change the way people eat, one well-informed choice at a time, improve health, reduce rates of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, make our kids healthier.
Now, when you walk into a King Cullen supermarket, the Nuval nutritional scoring system will be displayed right here on the shelf tag. Food is scored on a scale from 1 to 100. The higher the score, the higher the nutrition.
Yeah, if it's been in the news and you've heard, hey, this is a nutritional property that's important for health, it's in this formula, and it's weighted according to the actual health effects it has.
Vitamins, fiber, and sugar are among the many factors influencing the Nuval score. Dr. Katz says the system will be particularly helpful when comparing 2 foods.
On average, regular peanut butter on the 1 to 100 scale scores about a 20. On average, fat-reduced peanut butter on the 1 to 100 scale scores about a 7.
I think it will help people when they're comparing 2 foods. It'll help them choose the better one.
Oh, I think it can be very helpful when you're shopping, especially if you're looking at something new to purchase. You would know where it falls on the scale.
And a spokesperson for King Cullen says the grocery chain is the first on Long Island to use the nutritional scoring system. In Comac, Elsa Gillis, LI News Tonight.
A proposal in a Long Island town to make it a violation to tie a dog to a fixed object for an extended period of time. Islip Town Councilwoman Trish Bergen-Weichbrot, who introduced the resolution, says it's disturbing to see an animal tied to a tree, unable to move out of its own waste, and forced to eat and sleep in the same area. While laws forbidding tethering dogs to a fixed position have been passed in other states, Weichbrot says this will be the first of its kind on Long Island. She says Islip gets several phone calls a year from people disturbed by the sight of a neighbor tying a dog to a tree. Well, if you haven't begun thinking about your income taxes yet this year, now's the time to get started. And as Tara Evans reports, there is an easy way to get your return completed and sent with just a few clicks on the computer.
More paperwork is the last thing many people need. That's why this tax season, tax professional Kathy Travis recommends filing your income tax return electronically or e-filing online.
You don't have to send a paper return. You don't have to worry about whether your return got there or not. You don't have to attach W-2s. If you put in your routing and account number, you can have your refund directly deposited into your account.
If you do your own taxes, Travis says that filing online is the easiest way to correctly file your return because the software checks for accuracy and missing information. And she says with quick confirmation from the IRS and the state, you don't have to guess when it's complete.
Once I electronically file a return, within 12 hours, I have a reply back from the IRS in New York State saying that it's been accepted. That means we know they've gotten the return. And within 10 days, you usually get your federal refund.
April 15th's Emancipation Day observation delays this year's filing deadline until the 18th. So you have plenty of time to file without having to file an extension, which Travis says should be done with caution.
There's no penalty for filing an extension, but an extension is only an extension of time to file the return. It's not an extension of time to pay the tax. So you have to pay your balance due with the extension and then file the return late if you need to. So just keep that in mind.
Another thing to keep in mind, e-filing software can help those filing themselves make sure their return is accurate and complete. And some may even qualify for free IRS free file software. Those that don't qualify or are comfortable filling out their forms without assistance can still e-file at no cost using free file fillable forms. Links to these websites and other helpful information can be found on the LI News Tonight blog at www.linewstonight.wordpress.com. In Greenvale, Tara Evans, LI News Tonight.
We had an up day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day up 124 1/3 points. NASDAQ was up over 20 points, and the S&P was up 11 2/3 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
See a screening of the film The Red Shoes at New York Institute of Technology's D. Seversky Center in Old Westbury on Wednesday, March 16th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-686-7567. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day at the Ward Melville Heritage Organization in Stony Brook on Wednesday, March 16th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 631-689-5888. Spend a day at the beach planting seagrass to help stabilize the dunes at Tobay Beach in Massapequa on Saturday, March 19th at 10 a.m. For more information, call 516-677-5748 or learn how to use Google Earth to research your family history at Brentwood Public Library on Saturday, March 19th at 10 a.m. For more information, call 631-273-7883. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight at nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus. A road to the job you've always wanted. In the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
In world headlines today, Muammar Gaddafi's forces scored a victory today, recapturing the rebel-held city closest to the Libyan capital of Tripoli. Government firepower finally overwhelmed rebel forces last night in Zawiya in a battle that had lasted through the weekend. Gaddafi's forces are making growing use of their air power advantage to check the rebel advance leading out of the opposition-controlled eastern half of the country. Meanwhile, the rebels say a man claiming to represent Gaddafi contacted the newly created interim governing council offering to negotiate Gaddafi's departure. There's no confirmation that the envoy had been authorized by the regime, and the council says it won't negotiate. A senior military official says Japan is on track to test a domestically designed prototype stealth fighter in 3 years. It's reported the prototype will likely be rolled out for a test flight on schedule. Japan has put nearly $5 million into the project since 2009 after it became clear the United States wasn't likely to sell its most advanced fighter jet because of a congressional export ban. Japan relies to a large degree for its defense on its alliance with the United States. But China and Russia have made great strides toward perfecting advanced stealth fighters that could rival the U.S. Joran Vandersloot's lawyer says his client will plead guilty to killing a Peruvian woman he met gambling, but will argue temporary insanity in a bid for a shorter sentence. The attorney for Vandersloot, who remains the key suspect in the 2005 disappearance of U.S. teenager Natalie Holloway on the Caribbean island of Aruba, says his client will use the violent emotion defense in the Stephanie Flores case. His attorney says Vandersloot became enraged and killed Flores last May because she learned of his relation to Holloway by looking on his laptop. If the plea is accepted, Vandersloot would be sentenced to 3 to 5 years. He's charged with first-degree murder, which carries a 15 to 35-year sentence on conviction. A Lynbrook woman has been charged with driving drunk and speeding on the Long Island Expressway, fighting with the police who then tried to arrest her. Detectives say 54-year-old Jeanette Sallet was spotted by police speeding on the LIE early Saturday morning. Then when police tried to place her under arrest, they say she ignored their commands and began resisting and kicking the officer. Sallet is charged with assault, resisting arrest, DWI, and multiple traffic and vehicle violations. And a Long Island mother is facing felony charges of DWI and possession of a controlled substance after police say she was caught driving under the influence with her 4-year-old son in the car with her. Friday evening, police say a woman in a drugstore parking lot in Selden told them she was waiting for a person who was going to sell her Suboxone. Well, police say 44-year-old Deborah Abramowitz of Selden then drove up, and detectives determined she was the seller of the drug and was under the influence of drugs with her child in the car with her. The charge is now a felony under Leandra's law. The little boy was handed over to a family member, and the woman who was waiting for Abramowitz, 26-year-old Nicole Ciravolo of St. James, well, she was charged with loitering. Well, we had a mostly sunny day today. The high was in the low 40s. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low in the low 30s. Tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day, a high in the mid 40s. Thursday, a mix of rain and wind with a high up near 50. And Friday, chance of rain with a high in the upper 40s. The outlook for Saturday, partly cloudy with a high around 50 degrees. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.